Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could strum through a song called Fool on the Hill by the Beatles. And we're going to start on a D major chord. And when we play D major, first finger is going to go to the G string on the second fret, second finger on the high E string on the second fret, and third finger on the B string on the third fret. And if you kind of strum just the D, G, B, and E, kind of the skinny four strings, that sounds a D major chord. And on our intro, actually, we just kind of stay on the D major chord. And a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we just tried that a lot on the D. We'd have down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up. And then from there, we'd be going into our verse part. And our verse kind of starts off with D major. And then we go to a G major chord. And when we play G major, first finger is going to go to the A string on the second fret, second finger on the low E string on the third fret, and third finger on the high E string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major. And then we're going to do another G major. And then we go back to D major. And then we do another D major. And then we go back to G major. And then we do another G major. And then from there, we'll be going into an E minor chord. And when we play E minor, first finger is going to stay on the A string second fret, second finger on the D string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. And then from the E minor, we're going to be going to an A major chord. When we play A major, first finger is going to go to the D string on the second fret, second finger on the G string on the second fret, and third finger on the B string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like A major chord. It sounds really, really happy. And then from the A major, we're going to be going to a D major chord. And then from the D major, we're going to be going to a B minor chord. And if you know the bar B minor, we'll talk about some easier options here too. But you'll take your first finger and go across the entire second fret, second finger on the B string on the third fret, third finger on the D string on the fourth fret, and the pinky on the G string on the fourth fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord. It sounds really, really sad. But a lot of times with bar chords, you can kind of take the skinny few strings and kind of make smaller versions of those chords. So another way to play B minor is to take the first finger and go to the high E on the second fret, second finger on the G string third, and the third finger on the G string on the fourth fret. And if you strum the top three or even the top four strings, that's still another way to play B minor. And if you're a little bit more adventurous, you can kind of keep the first finger on the high E second, second finger on the B string third, and take the third finger and go to the D string on the fourth fret, and get the pinky to go to the G string on the fourth fret. And if you kind of strum the D, G, B, and E, kind of the skinny four strings, that's another way to play B minor. Another way to play B minor would be doing something called B minor 7 in root position, where you do first finger on the A string second, second finger on the G string second, and third finger on the high E second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord. It sounds really sad. And then another possibility is to just go to D. but that's a B minor 7. And then from there we go to E minor, and then we go back to A major for our verses. So we tried our verse with our strum pattern. We'd have D with the down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, G, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, A, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, A, down, down, up, down, and then we go to a sad chord for our chorus. And so we end up changing from D major, which sounds really happy, to a D minor chord. And the way you play D minor, first finger is going to go to the high E on the first fret, second finger on the G string on the second fret, and third finger on the B string on the third fret. And if you kind of strum just the D, G, B, and E, then that sounds a D minor chord. It sounds really, really sad. And then from the D minor, we're going to be going to a B flat major chord. There's several possibilities actually for this. As a bar chord, you would do first finger across the entire first fret, second finger on the D string on the third fret, third finger on the G string on the third fret, and the pinky on the B string on the third fret. So it's kind of like an A major chord, but moved over one. That's called B flat major. For myself, what feels better is to kind of do that as a double bar chord and get my third finger to kind of cover the B, G, and B. But just like the B minor, you can take the top few strings and kind of make a smaller version of that chord. So you could go first finger on the high E first fret, pinky on the B string on the third, and the third finger on the G string on the third fret. And if you strum the top three or the top four strings, that's another way to play B flat major. And if you take your second finger, you can even try and add them in on the D string. I think that's a big stretch actually, getting the D string on the third. But all those are B flat possibilities. And then from the B flat, we're going to be going to a C major chord. And when we play C major, first finger is going to go to the B string on the first fret, second finger on the D string on the second fret, and third finger on the A string on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a C major chord. That sounds really, really happy. And then from the C, we're going to be going back to D minor, and then doing another D minor. And at the end of the chorus, we go back to D major twice to kind of set ourselves up back for our verse. So we tried our chorus with our strum pattern. We have D minor, down, up, down, D minor, down, down, B flat, down, down, B flat, down, down, C, down, up, down, C, down, up, D minor, down, down, D minor, down, down, D major, down, down, D major, down, and then from there we'd be going back to our verse again. Now, one other thing I would think about adding to the song is bass notes, and a lot of times on the first down of the down, up, down, you could throw in a bass note for the chord. So, for instance, on the D, you could do the D string for your bass, and then keep your down, up, down, up. And you can do that for the D major or the D minor chord, actually. So I got D bass, down, up, down, D bass, down, up, down. On the G chord, you'd have the low E string for your bass, so low E bass, down, up, G, low E bass, down, down. On the E minor, you'd have the low E string for your bass, so low E bass, down, down. On the A, you'd have the A string for your bass. And then for the B minor chord, if you're doing the bar, or the B minor 7 in your position, you can do the A string for your bass on that chord. And then this gets a little weird when we hit the B flat. You'd actually do the A string for your bar there. If you're doing one of the smaller ones, you may have to kind of fade that on the G string. And then for the C chord, you'd have the A string for your bass. So C with an A bass, down, up, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, up. So we tried our next verse with bass notes. We'd have D with a D bass, down, up, down, D with a D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, B with an A bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, B minor with an A bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, B with an A bass, down, down. And then we'd be going into our chorus part again. So if we tried our chorus with our bass notes, we'd have D minor with a D bass, down, down, D minor with a D bass, down, down, B flat with an A bass, down, down, B flat with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D minor with a D bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, D major with a D bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down. And then we've got a solo part that kind of follows our verse form. So we'd have the D with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, D with an A bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, E minor with an A bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, A with an A bass, down, and then from there we'd be going back into our chorus part. So we'd be back to the D minor with the D bass, down, down, D minor with the D bass, down, down, B flat with an A bass, down, down, B flat with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D minor with the D bass, down, down, D minor with the D bass, down, down, D major with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down. And then from there we'd be going back into another solo part that kind of parallels our verse. So we'd have D with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, B with an A bass, down, down, D with a D bass, down, down, E minor with an A bass, down, down, E minor with low E bass, down, down, B with an A bass, down, down. And yes, the words do come in halfway through what we just played. And then from there we go into our chorus part. So we try our chorus with our basses. We have D minor with the D bass, down, down, D minor with the D bass, down, down, B flat with an A bass, down, down, B flat with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, D minor with the D bass, down, down, D minor with the D bass, down, down, D major with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down. And then from there we'd be going into our outro part, which kind of takes a little piece of our verse where we're just doing that D, D to G to G and just repeats it. So we tried that with our bass, down, up, down, up. We'd have D with the D bass, down, down, D with the D bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, D with big D, kind of at the very, very end. But that's the basics of how you can strum along with Fool on the Hill by the Beatles. So good luck!